Alhamdulillahi wahdah wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah. Today we will be looking into the hadith regarding the religious practices on the day of Eid. And the hadith is of Abdullah ibn Qurt. And it goes as An Abdullah ibn Qurt radiyallahu anhu an al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam qala إن أعظم الأيام عند الله تعالى يوم النحر ثم يوم القر أخرجه أبو داود بإسناد جيد. Abdullah ibn Qurt radiallahu anhu narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, verily the greatest days with Allah the Most High are the day of sacrifice and then the day of Al-Qar, reported by Abu Dawud with a good chain of narration. The day of Qar is the day which follows the day of sacrifice, because the people yuqirrun, that is settle in Mina, because the people yuqirrun in Mina, which is settle in Mina. That's why they are called as Yawmul Qar. The hadith is evidence for the virtue of the day of sacrifice and that it is the greatest of the days with Allah. It is the day of the greatest Hajj, according to the most obvious of statements, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Yawmul Hajj al-Akbari Yawmul Nahar. The day of the greatest Hajj is the day of sacrifice. This is Uqba ibn Amir radiallahu anhu said that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Yawmu Arafah wa Yawmul Nahri wa Ayyamut Tashriq Eiduna Ahl al-Islam. The day of Arafah, the day of sacrifice, and the day of Tashriq are our Eid, the people of Islam. And the hadith continues. Eid al-Nahr, that is the Eid of sacrifice, is more virtuous than Eid al-Fitr. Now the Shaykh brings some merits of this day. That is the Eid of breaking fast. So the Eid al-Nahr is in Dhul-Hijjah and Eid al-Fitr is talking about Ramadan. So Eid al-Nahr is better, more virtuous, because Eid al-Nahr has salah, slaughtering, while Eid al-Fitr has charity and salah. And sacrificing is more virtuous than charity. This is the point that the Shaykh wants to bring. Also, the day of sacrifice joins between a noble place and a noble time for the pilgrims. That is at the sacred house of Allah. So, there are specific duties which are connected to this day, and the Shaykh will be explaining that to us. So, the first of them is going out to the Musalla of the Eid with the best appearance, beautifying oneself with what is permissible and emulating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The person should not leave off cleaning and beautifying himself until after he slaughters his sacrifice, as some people do. He goes to the Musalla early so that he can be close to the Imam and to attain the reward of waiting for the Salah. So this is the first thing, that is going out to the Musalla in the best appearance. Then the Shaykh says that it is sunnah to recite the takbir on his way to the Musalla until the Imam finishes his Salah. When the Imam begins the khutbah, he leaves off the takbir, unless the Imam makes takbir, in which case he continues to make takbir with him. So the takbir are until the time that he goes to the Musalla, and when the Imam stops saying the takbir, he stops saying the takbir, and they will go with the prayers. It is the sunnah to change the routes, that is to go to the Musalla by one route and return home by another, due to what is narrated by Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhuma, who said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا كان يوم عيد خالف الطريق. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to change the routes on the day of Eid. This hadith is reported in Bukhari. The fourth point that the Shaykh brings is that it is sunnah on Eid al-Adha to not eat anything until he prays, due to what is narrated from Abdullah ibn Burayda, from his father, who said, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يخرج يوم الفطر حتى يطعم ولا يطعم يوم الأضحى حتى يصلي. So the Prophet ﷺ used to not go out for Eid al-Fitr until he ate, and he would not eat on the day of Adha until he prayed. So the sunnah on Eid al-Adha is opposite of the sunnah of Eid al-Fitr. On Eid al-Fitr you have to eat something and then go to the musalla. And on Eid al-Adha you do not eat, you go, and then when you finish the prayers, you eat. The fifth point that the Shaykh he brings is that Salatul Eid is an emphasized or stressed sunnah. The Muslim must strive to perform it. It is befitting for women and children to attend, and even the babies, in order to exalt the symbol of Allah, and which is the symbol of Islam. They are those from the people of knowledge who say that it is obligatory. So there are some of the scholars, they say it is obligatory. The sixth point that the Shaykh brings is, after the salah and the khutbah, he slaughters his sacrifice with his own hand if he is proficient in slaughtering. He eats from it, gives it to his relatives and the neighbors, and gives some of it in charity to the poor. It is permissible to store the meat of sacrifice. The prohibitions of storing and eating the meat of the sacrifice after 3 days are abrogated, according to the statement of the majority. Some of the people of knowledge say they were not abrogated, but when the people are in need, it is prohibited to store it. So, the issue of storing the meat, okay, the scholars, they differ. Some say that it is abrogated, you can store the meat. The others, they say that it is not abrogated, but if there are people who are in need, then but when the people are in need, it is prohibited to store it. This is what they say. It is not permissible to belittle the meat of the sacrifice or throw away what is usable, because it is difficult to clean it. So it is rather from the perfection of gratitude to benefit from all of it, or give it to people who can benefit from it, even if it causes some inconvenience. So if it cause inconvenience to us, but we should not throw away the meat which can be benefited from. The seventh point which the Shaykh brings is, there is no problem with giving Eid greetings. It is obligatory to visit the parents and relatives, and visiting them takes precedence over visiting one's brothers for the sake of Allah. It is compulsory on the Muslim to begin with the one whose rights are emphasized and those with whom keeping ties is obligatory, which is the parents and then your relatives. With this, the Shaykh completes this dars with the dua, which is Allahumma ati nufusana taqwaha wa zakkiha anta khayru man zakkaha anta waliyuha wa mawlaha Allahumma ahsin aqibatana fil umuri kulliha wa ajirna min khizyi ad-dunya wa adhab al-akhirah waghfir Allahumma lana wa liwalidina wa li jami'il muslimin. O Allah, give our souls their piety and purify them, for you are the best to purify them. You are their master. O Allah, make the outcome of all our affairs good, and protect us from disgrace in this life and the punishment of the hereafter. And forgive us, O Allah, our parents and the Muslims. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.